Cannot possibly understand the stress and anxiety we are feeling right now, the anticipation. For once, we have been ready.
Yes.
We were here early. We are ready. We are so ready to go. Hi, everyone. Hi, Wade. Oh my gosh. Who do we have in the room? Oh my god, we have so many people in the room. This is so freaking exciting. I'm so...
Jay Scott, Wade.
Yes! Oh my gosh, we got Scott in the room. Rusty Blue Super Beetle Mechanic, we're so happy to see you. Thank you for your email. We'll be reading it later. We're just so happy to be with you guys. Awesome email. Yes. So welcome back. We are back in the groove of things. Welcome back to our happy hour live stream. Now we're going to be sort of doing a whole bunch of the normal stuff. Obviously this is a Wednesday and we used to have book club on Wednesdays. We will be starting back up book club. However,
isn't that?
Yeah, well, we're still sort of like enjoying our summer. You guys have a little bit of a vacation coming up. I've got a couple more traveling things to do. But sort of like summer's gonna end and we're gonna get back into the roll of things and start up book club again right around school time.
There you go.
Scholastic time is upon us. Time to read. Time to get back into school mode, but we're not ready to read yet because summer's still upon us. So screw that.
It's still quite hot in Texas.
Yeah.
Watch the language.
No.
Oh.
Who's being rude? Was that me?
No. I heard that S word.
No. Yeah. We're not.
We're gonna get back in the swing.
Yeah, we're gonna get back in the swing of things politely. And PG. This is a family channel.
Yes.
And Hunter Industrial.
And Hunter Industrial is here. And now let's talk about why we're here.
All right.
What brought us here today?
So, well, a lot of things brought us here today, but actually, we were spurred by, Toyota did bring us here today, brought me here today at least. And I guess you guys were brought here by Acura, but anyway. So as you can see behind us, we have a sponsor for this live stream and we are so grateful for that. Thank you so much to the Hunter Industrial folks for allowing us to do a giveaway. We're going to be announcing that in a little bit. In the meantime, though, I'm noticing a severe lack of people reminding us to start the chicken timer.
Yeah.
So,
that's right.
Well, let's just let everybody know, in your absence, we had 2 little girls who were more than willing to keep those chicken
timer.
Yes.
Oh, yes! We've had,
I've seen a lot of action.
Oh, the chicken timers have not been bored at all. So let us know in the comments what you are drinking today at happy hour. I'm sober warrior tonight, and I'm actually I'm actually cheating. Because since we're going to be doing our ASE study questions, I'm bringing a brain drink, Focus Power. And some of you know, some of you don't know that recently I was actually, I was rear-ended by a drunk driver and I'm still a little bit hurt. So if I am moving a little bit like a robot, that is because my neck and my back is a little stiff. Ta-da! So I'm not going to have any beverages today because I like to feel how I feel so that I don't hurt myself more. So
let's start moving around too.
Yeah, because if I don't feel it, then I might, flail, which I do anyway, and things might get out of control.
Yep.
So
say hi to Emily. Say hi to her.
We got Emily. Oh my gosh! Hello, Camaro Justin. All right, we can officially start the chicken timer now that we have Camaro Justin in the room. So
all right.
We've got the 4 chicken timers behind us, and like normal, we're gonna break this hour into 15-minute segments with our ASE test questions and announcing of our giveaway. Shop Mom, would you be so kind to let the folks know where they can enter the giveaway?
Okay, so we've posted that. We'll post it again.
We're going to post this.
The live stream,
Yep.
But folks, we want to see some activity from you guys, so Hunter Fan knows this is a good place to plant themselves when they want some exposure.
Absolutely. We are very grateful
and
for our
besides
sponsor.
that, we want everybody to be so jelly of the fans that we have because they are awesome. I show them off all the time.
Well, this is true. Actually, the other day I was working in our outdoor, Brandon and I built this amazing outdoor open workspace, and I've been working in it. And you know what? It's not just for keeping cool. Which, by the way, it is so hot in Texas. I do not know. I would not be in the garage at all without the Jan fan, and that is no lie. The Jan fan not only keeps me cool, but also keeps the mosquitoes off of me. So
you can't find that wind.
I know. It's just and it's so swampy right now. We've had record bad rain, so it's been
humid. And if you watched any of the videos that I've been shooting somewhere, it is a great fan. I'm not gonna say that put one in a closed garage where you're painting, but for painting, to put it out and exhaust everything out while you're painting, it's awesome. If you watch my painting video, if it wasn't for that fan, it was storming outside. It was raining. I had to paint inside. And it was awesome. If you've watched a lot of my videos, it's in the background, but it's not just a foo-foo fan. It's not a foo-foo fan. It is the real McCoy in a shop environment. It's so anyway, it's real fan. We're not just
No,
blowing
definitely.
smoke up your butt.
So we want to give away one of these to the most deserving of you. So we created a competition, and it is called This Fan Blows. We want the person with the crappiest fan to get one of these nice fans. We like to give away to the most deserving.
Mm-hmm.
We said we we don't just like to just give things away for for nothing. So we want you guys to do a little work here. So what we want you to do is take a picture or a short video, like 60 seconds or less, like not a big deal, y'all, and send it in to the link that Shop Mom provided. And at the end of the month, we will be picking our favorite video and choosing a winner, and then Hunter Industrial will send it to you for free.
And they're making it real easy.
Yeah.
You don't have to go write a novel, go make a story. They actually have everything where you just go on the link and post a picture up. I mean, it's really not even like it's okay. I can do the picture or the video, but I'm not computer savvy, or I don't write poems, or I don't write novels. You don't have to do that.
Who does write poems?
All right.
Anyway, all right. So, we'll just be reminding you throughout the live stream. Also, if you click the link that Shop Mom posted, you can see my example of a fantastic video. You can actually see my crappy fans. Those are actually my fans at home. Let's just to be like full disclosure, I already won because they sent me fans to replace them. So my video is already a winning video. So if you do a video as amazing as mine, we might pick you. If you want bonus points, now, like I don't like entering in giveaways and posting things online, and I totally get that. So for those that are really, really, totally into this giveaway and are determined to get fans, you get bonus points for posting it up on your social media with hashtag This Fan Blows. So.
There you go.
There you go.
That's pretty cool.
Yep, these fans blow. So anyway, shall we begin with our first ASE test? Who's ready?
No.
Who's ready
There.
for our test question? Okay,
All
we're
right.
ready. All right, I've got a ton of bookmarks because I've got a whole bunch. A lot of these in this book require pictures. So sometimes I go through ahead of time and just make sure that I'm not going to be reading one that's like a really like crazy technical electrical wiring diagram.
So open your book to page 243 and go with
Yeah, actually, no. Some of you actually have this book because a lot of you have asked us about how to get into the automotive industry, what is helpful on your resume, and really as much as we sometimes make fun of ASE and we make fun of these questions, and I'm not a great test taker. I don't like sitting down and reading. I have a really hard time. Sometimes I'll read the questions too fast. Like I hate taking tests. However,
you can overthink them sometimes.
Oh my gosh, you can, which is why we like to practice here to help y'all, because really, as much as we make fun of ASE questions sometimes, employers really do take this stuff seriously, and I cannot tell you how important it is for you to get these and just put those on your resume if you're starting out.
Passing an ASE test shows a lot. It doesn't just show what you know, because the ASE patch isn't going to answer all your questions. They're not going to do that. What it does show is that you're dedicated,
right?
That you're willing to learn,
right?
You're willing, because some of the questions, if you've never read that, common sense would go, oh, I've failed a test before just because I said, well, that's wrong, and I know the right answer. But guess what? If they give you 3, A, B, and C, and you just want to say, well, it's E, and I did right on the side, guess what? You're too smart. Okay, guess what? You didn't pass the test. Do you want to pass the test?
Exactly.
So by even practicing, you kind of get, okay, I know what you're going with this. I know what answer you want. So it is actually good to practice.
Absolutely. And actually, we have someone in the chats who's a great example of this. Our dear friend Jessica, who actually just got her first job in the industry. She now is a lube tech at a Honda dealership. We are so freaking proud of her. So everyone say congratulations to Jessica.
Yes.
In the chats. But she actually, she started out, she took every piece of advice that we've given on this live stream, and she has just taken it and run with it. She got her section 609, which is, I think, one of the best ways to start out if you've never taken an ASE test before. Aside from doing like the practice tests online, which are also good, the section 609 just sort of gets you just in that groove of studying, and also it's only $20 and then you have it for life. Now she got her section 609, so I actually recently saw on her social media that she was doing some AC work with a coworker, and she had the opportunity to do that. If you get caught working on AC without that certification, not only do you get fined, but your employer gets fined. So they're not going to want to let you do anything with AC if you don't have that. So
sometimes even in especially shops that have older mechanics,
yeah,
that will get you in the door because they need you. You have their certification. All you can do is have one person
One,
there
yep,
that has
yep.
that certification. You might have a group of 5 different guys, older men, and they just don't like taking tests, whatever. Time has caught up to them. Somebody in that shop needs that certificate.
Yes.
So a lot of times that certificate will get you in the door.
Absolutely.
It opens the doors for you.
And
So.
609, you do not have to take through ASE. It's through it's like a EPA sort of thing. So you can take it through any of the major test. I don't know. Search it. I don't know. but ASE does offer their own 609. And I just recommend that one. Just not only to have your first like ASE certificate on your toolbox, but also it's just a great way to start. It's open book, $20. At least it was when I took it in like 2012. And it lasts forever. So anyway, it really is a good thing to do. So, all right, shall we start with our first?
I think we're ready.
You ready?
I'm ready. I've been
By the
waiting
way,
for this.
before we get started,
Oh,
Hunter Industrial is telling us that they're already getting submissions. So keep them going, folks.
You're already getting submissions. Okay, keep going. If your fan really blows, I'm gonna tell we're not blowing smoke. If there's one thing you know about us,
if we don't personally have it or used it or say like, wow, I wish more people knew about this, we're not just here to to blow smoke.
No, and actually, like we sometimes we wish because we could, sometimes it's like, oh, the money would be nice, but like we've turned down people that we don't like because we're just like, yep, that's a crappy product. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't need that product, so I'm not going to even suggest to somebody to use that product.
we like made in the USA, and we like the warranty. So anyway,
Okay.
a spongy brake pedal occurs after several hard stops are made in a short time period. Technician A says that the brake fluid may be contaminated. Technician B says that the vacuum hose to the brake booster may be restricted. Who is correct? I don't know if you can hear the chicken timers in the background, but it's like, It's like tick, 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 tick. And actually having the chicken timers in the background really does, so all of these questions are timed. So really the faster that you're able to answer these questions, the better, but you also want to give it some thought. So with every question, there's always 4 answers, A, B, C, or D. A only, B only, C, both technicians A and B, and D, neither technicians A or B. And I'm gonna say that again. All right. And if you have this book, which is very expensive, so I don't recommend it. Actually, it's a great book. So if you have it, we're on page 243. Question 18. A spongy brake pedal occurs after several hard stops are made in a short time period. Technician A says that the brake fluid may be contaminated. Technician B says that the vacuum hose to the brake booster may be restricted. Who is correct?
So let's think about this. Okay, brake fluid
Yep,
absorbs moisture.
it does.
And throughout the time, it'll get more moisture. Water moisture will boil.
Yep.
It's giving you a tip and it's saying after a few times.
Hard stops.
It's
hard stops.
Mhm.
In a short time period.
In a short time.
So we're seeing that the fluid is getting warm.
It's getting hot,
Yeah.
boiling, and that's giving you that spongy pedal. That's what I'm thinking. B,
Right. The vacuum hose, the brake booster may be restricted.
So a brake booster is a brake assist.
Yeah, brake.
It's using engine vacuum to help you push the pedal. So when you push the pedal, it's real light for you.
Yeah.
Back in the days, some of you may not know this, there was power brakes. There wasn't power brakes.
There was
it
not.
it was your feet. The power brakes were your feet.
Yeah.
So now we're using vacuum. So if the vacuum hose was restricted, then the brakes would be hard. Not spongy.
Really hard. I drove my 1980 Volkswagen Rabbit with a bad brake booster for about a year and had no idea because that's how I just thought that it was like that. And then I had a friend drive it and was like, "Your brakes are so scary. I feel like I'm gonna die." I'm like, "I'll die."
And the brakes still work, but
They
you're
still
the
work.
power brake.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
I was the power. I did not realize how much power I did not have to put down. So I'm with you. I'm going to say it's definitely not B. I'm thinking that it's A only. I've dealt with contaminated brake fluid before, and quite often it's not like necessarily something that'll happen at first, but it happens over time. So, and also when the brake fluid gets really hot. Wow, having a hard time thinking of the word brake fluid. Oh goodness. All right, you can see I'm
And
still.
one of the in this neck of the woods or something, brake fluid really never gets changed.
Yes.
It should be changed.
Every
it should
2
be,
years.
Yeah.
Every
but
2
that's
years,
something
yeah.
that really kind of unless your brakes are gone or they're doing a master cylinder or wheel cylinder or caliper or something.
Right, and they
brake
have
fluid
to
really gets
purge the
overlooked.
air.
It's one of the few fluids that really nobody ever even checks brake fluid.
I know, and I'm so passionate about brake fluid, and I love brake fluid because it's just an interesting
Where
fluid.
have you heard that before?
I
I
don't
could
know.
be a shirt.
It's just something
I love
very
brake
interesting. I actually have a series of videos on this channel right here about how to check your brake fluid and how to bleed it yourself at home. If you do not have if your brake pedal is actually connected to your master cylinder, because there's cars out there with electronic brakes now, and your brake pedal is attached to nothing aside from a sensor, which is very scary. But all right, so who guessed A? Because that's what I'm going with. I see a lot of answers here.
I'm gonna go back and just see.
And we know the rules, all right? If you get the question right, you drink. If you get the question wrong, you drink. So really, we all win, and this is a learning experience.
A lot of drinking happens. Before we get into that,
Oh,
I
yes.
just want to let the folks in the room know.
Okay.
We're not posting any political stuff in this chat.
No.
This is a safe space for all of us.
This is a
So
safe
I
space.
will
Automotive only.
remove anything that even
Nope.
slightly hints at political.
No, because this is a safe space. We come here to talk
get
about
it.
cars. No current events, no politics, no news, because you know what? Like, we hear enough of that out there. This is...
You come here to get away from that and to just enjoy some automotive humor.
And each other's
we've got the
company.
And each other's company.
And each other's company.
And we have the best moderator in the world, who I was saying moderator, kind of.
I am a moderator.
She's a moderator. We have the best moderator in the world, so y'all can't get past this. So don't even try, okay? It's just not gonna work. I'm going with A. I think that the contaminated brake fluid.
I think everybody
is...
went with B, so I'm
Really?
wondering did I.
Oh my God! No way! I don't know. Okay, well maybe you're gonna prove me. I don't know. I actually we just picked these for the questions, and we actually haven't looked at the answers just yet. So
I
we're
could
gonna.
be wrong. What did
Yeah,
Jessica?
we could be wrong.
What did Jessica answer?
The first time that I did brakes, I failed miserably because I did not study at all. I was like, I do these all the time. I don't brake so good, I failed brakes.
I can freestyle this.
Okay, wait a second. Okay, so we are perfect timing,
Perfect timing.
and we're getting through our first question
Yep.
before our first chicken timer. Okay, this is good. All right, so we are in. That was question 18.
I can't believe you guys are on track.
It's
It's a miracle.
It is.
It is. Is it B or is it A?
It's A.
A.
Woo!
Oh.
We can drink.
I'm
Okay,
good.
man. Okay, all right. So, all right. So, the answer is A. If the brake pedal becomes spongy after several hard brake applications in a short time period, the brake fluid may be contaminated. Thus, technician A is correct. A restricted vacuum hose connected to the brake booster causes excessive brake pedal effort during brake application. Therefore, technician B is incorrect, making technician A the correct answer. I love being right. This is great.
And the contamination is because of the moisture.
Yes.
Because it boils. And once it boils, you get air,
Yep.
and you can compress air, but you can't compress a liquid.
Well,
So
definitely,
there's that.
and there are also, there are other ways that it can get contaminated as well. So like sometimes you'll see people like adding fluid with like a funnel that's shared with other things, and that also eventually can cause damage. It can cause the seals to swell. It can cause the seals to break down. So that can also cause a spongy pedal.
On older cars, the brake hoses, real old brake hoses, the black goo from the inside of the hose.
Yeah. But most often, I'd say like 99% of the time when I see contamination, it's moisture. Same. Okay. Since our chicken timer went off, it's a great time to remind you. Shop Mom, will you please provide the amazing link for our giveaway once again in the chats? And we are doing a giveaway of this amazing, well, not just this fan. This is actually a new fan. I just ordered this one because I wanted something that went on my tabletop. I did not know that they made fans like this. So this is a new one. However, we have all sizes. There's all sizes.
There's one that will literally change the barometric pressure in the shop.
Yes,
I mean, it's just that nice.
And in my shop, I have one that's mounted to the ceiling, and then I can like move the head around wherever. And I actually just picked up this really cool articulating arm for it, so I can move it out and around. And now it can like literally
And
go
you
anywhere.
need to go check out the site because who else has a spotlight on a fan?
Oh yeah, they come with LED like dock lights.
Watch I don't want to today to go watch my video, but
No, watch it now. Stay here.
Yes, my painting video, that spotlight came in handy. I had to paint inside. It was raining. It was dark. We had light in the shop, but not good enough to. You can see that the engine looked like it was painted real nice. I turned that fan on, and you could just see it transparent. I didn't have enough paint on it. Who else puts a spotlight on a fan? So really, I do. It's not just like, oh, you're just saying a bunch of stuff. No, I love that.
Heck yeah.
All right.
All right, so who got that one right? And who has some studying to do for brakes? And once again, like, do not be ashamed if you got that one wrong, because, like I said, I had been a technician. I had been off the lube rack and working on the line for 2 years when I took my first brakes test. And it's like, what do you do after you get off the lube rack? You do a bunch of minor services. You do air filters, you do drive belts. Actually, sometimes you do those on the lube rack if you're not on like an express team. And the first thing I did was brakes. You know, and I was so like, I know all about brakes. I can use the on-car brake lathe. I can use like the mobile, like the actual like stand brake lathe. I know like all about like brake pad measurements. I can do drum brakes. I'm like, I'm brake queen. Brake queen failed the brake test hardcore. I did not miss it by 1 question. I missed it by like 5 questions because it's like, you don't know. I'm like,
you don't. And if you were mentored by somebody older in an older shop,
yeah, a lot of
the, you know, grumpy old men will just say, just do what I'm telling you, whatever.
Right.
And they don't know why the brake fluid is boiling or they don't know any of that.
Right,
they just know it's hot, it's bad, it's brake fluid is bad, but they're not going to know the words to use to take a test, most definitely. So.
And also it's just like, who rebuilds stuff anymore? You know, like I was really scared when I took automatic transmissions because all that I've ever done with automatic transmissions, and like I've been in this industry now for I started with my like apprenticeship in 2008, and I got my first paying job in 2012. So like that seems like a long time to me. I have never rebuilt an automatic transmission. I've only like taken one apart just for my own joy of seeing what the heck the bands were and like the friction material was, because I just didn't know. The only thing I've ever done is diagnose like faulty external solenoids. I've replaced the fluid. I've replaced, I've put a new seal on a valve body. Like you don't really rebuild. Like you R&R.
Now it's R&R. Replace, just remove and replace.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And same with master cylinders. It's like I've never taken apart a master cylinder. It's like, is it bad? Great. Pull it off. Put a new one on. Done. You're flat rating it.
So many wheel cylinder kits and master cylinder kits. It was very rare you sold a master cylinder. You just bought a kit. You know.
Oh my gosh, I love this. Let's see if I can see it on here, because the comments sort of come and then they go. Okay, Kevin says that even an automatic transmission engineer regrets cracking open an automatic transmission. Yeah, but you got to know the inner workings of that stuff. So if you're interested in taking the brake ASE, I actually, like, when I pulled the old master cylinder off of my truck repo and replaced it, I took that thing apart. I'm just like, where is the primary cup seal? Where is the reuptake valve?
And that's another.
I just didn't know.
That's another real good point, because even I remember a while back when we were doing an AC test, they're asking you stuff about the primary cup seal, all that. It was like, what? I've seen a master cylinder. I unbolted and put it back on. You
can't even call the auto parts store and order a primary cup seal. Like
they're not going to know,
but you've got to know what it is in order to do well on the brake ASE. I mean, a lot of them are common sense, obviously. I mean,
pull stuff apart.
Yeah,
pull stuff apart.
Definitely. So, all right. So here's our second question. Who's ready? Everyone, get their thinking caps on. Okay, we're moving away from brakes now, and we're in emissions control.
Primary cup seal.
The primary cup seal is something I need between my mouth and my coffee cup. I love you guys. Oh, I'm so happy to see y'all.
It feels good to be back.
It's so amazing. This is awesome. And to have, oh my God, 145 of y'all in the room. Thank you so much for being here. All right, so if you have this book, Jessica, I think you have this book, feel free to read along with us. We're on page 455.
Let me interrupt briefly so we can say Farmer Girl and Chickens made it.
Oh, Farmer Girl Chickens! Oh my God, hello!
And Charles Whitman is here.
Charles is here.
The team is back. It's like,
oh my gosh.
Stephen King and Short Bus and Kevin and
Short Bus is Stephen King.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, there's so many of our
all the
old
OGs.
friends.
All the OGs.
Okay,
and a bunch of new friends.
We just had to say hi to
Y'all are awesome.
Kino Bonus is here.
Kino Bonus too. Oh my God. All the OGs.
And
all the OGs.
If you remember, Kino almost was
always
scoring like a 95.
I know, yeah, scoring
he could take an
high,
ASE
so
test,
look out. Yeah, Kino Bonus. I don't think Kino Bonus isn't even in the automotive industry.
No, he's not.
And he
but
still does really
it's
well.
almost like whatever he answers, I'm going with that one.
So now we're going to emissions control. Once again, for those of you that just joined, we are doing a giveaway of the Jan fan. This is an example of a small one that I just picked up, but they're all different shapes and sizes that, if you win, and we are choosing the most worthy. This giveaway competition is called This Fan Blows. Whoever has the crappiest fan we want to give you a new fan for the rest of the summer. Here in Texas, the heat of the summer is August and early September. So the heat of the summer is about to become upon us. So late August, early September is the worst.
I'm sure people in Seattle probably wish they had a fan.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
So, oh my gosh, thank you. So who was that? That was really nice. Blue collar host. Oh my gosh,
Blue
Blue
collar
collar host.
host.
Thank you. We're so glad to see you. Thank you for that. So yeah, we want to make the hottest month of your summer more enjoyable, but also not only that, like it's good all year round. We've got some videos coming up, so you'll see what we mean. Moving on to emissions.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
And Shop Mom, will you put that link in the chats again
Yes,
for those
yes.
the wonderful people who just joined us and wanted to do the giveaway? We have examples. Basically, just show us a picture of your crappy fan. Show us a picture of you sweating, drenched in sweat if you don't have a fan, or like you don't even have to be in it. I'm not in my video. I made a short video. Just keep it 60 seconds or less. And if we get enough video submissions, I'm gonna make a funny TikTok or something out of it. So the more videos we get, the better, because then we just get to make more stuff. All right, so page 455, question 53, and we are doing emissions. Okay, the inside.
Thank you, Short Buzz.
Oh, thank you, Short
Short
Buzz.
Buzz.
Thank you so much.
Crazy man.
You guys are crazy. I know. Why are you here listening to us? I love it. Oh my gosh.
On a Wednesday.
On a Wednesday. I know. It's just like, don't you have something better to do? No, you don't.
No,
What are you saying?
nobody has
anything better to do.
Stop it.
The inside of the air cleaner is contaminated with engine oil. Who's had this happen before? Me. Technician A says that the PCV valve clean air filter in the air cleaner may be plugged. I'm going to say that again because it's kind of weird, right? Technician A says that the PCV valve clean air filter in the air cleaner may be plugged. Technician B says that the hose from the PCV valve to the intake manifold may be severely restricted. Who is correct? A only, B only, C is both, and D, neither.
That's a tricky question.
I know, why did I pick that one?
Because I should know that one.
I know. Well, it's
This
this can be tricky because positive crankcase ventilation and it's sometimes it's not exactly what you think. So let's
the way that it works, you have two valve covers,
right?
and then you have one valve cover that's going to go up to the air cleaner.
I have a picture of a PCV valve right here that I can show.
Thanks, Pat Cassidy.
Thank you, Pat Cassidy.
So the air cleaner on one side, air is going to go into the valve cover. That's generally coming from the air cleaner, so it gets filtered air going in. And it's saying that if that is clogged, okay, so that's one of the ones they're saying.
Yep.
The other side of the valve cover has a PCV valve. She just showed you the picture of it, and that hose goes to the carburetor, the intake manifold. So it's vacuum going into the motor. So what's happening is air's going in one side of the valve cover through a V8. On a 6-cylinder, there's different, there's different engines, but it's going to go on one side of the valve cover, go through the engine, remove all of the combustion gases which need to be removed because the rings are going to pass combustion gases and it's going to contaminate the oil. Then it goes all the way out the other side, and then it goes into the intake manifold. You need a valve because if you didn't have a valve, you would just have a vacuum leak. So the way that the PCV valve works, there's a specific PCV valve for every engine. If you have, let's say, 18 inches of vacuum, the PCV valve would open at 17 inches of vacuum, as there's a spring in it, the spring pressure. As soon as it opens, the spring pressure is released because it's opened. Now air went in, but instantly there's no longer 18 inches of vacuum.
Right.
So the spring pressure closes it. As
Right,
soon as it closes,
it's a one-way
opens-
check valve,
Yes.
basically.
And it keeps going like this.
Yeah, super fast. So
It
you
lets
can
air
hear
go-
it.
Yes.
When it's working, you can hear it like.
If it's stuck open, it's just blowing, oil
Right.
going right through
Yes.
it. So now that we know how it works, how are we getting oil in the air cleaner? Is this?
Okay, I think I have personal experience with this actually recently because this is actually a problem on the first generation of the brand new Supra. They actually have the PCV valve built into the valve cover, and it gets restricted because of the design. It was a bad design at first. I mean, nothing that Supra does is a bad design, but you know, it could have been better. So what happened was there was a lot of oil getting pushed back through the intake and actually contaminating the filter, and actually just like it was just consuming a lot of oil. I had issues with oil contamination at first. So they issued a TSB, and now what you've got to do is you've actually you've got to do a break and oil change on your own and replace the entire valve cover under warranty. I'm gonna say B. It's B.
It's B.
I think it's B. I think it's
And it could do it if it.
I'm gonna read it again.
If it's closed shut, now we have excessive pressure.
Yes.
Which is going to get pushed up the other side
Exactly.
and going into the thing.
Yes.
I see where you're going with that.
Yes. Well, that's the thing, because it's you know, when you think clogged, sometimes you think that there's a restriction, but in this case, clogged can also be pressure building up, because it's also kind of like a pressure release valve in some sense as well. So I'm gonna say B. I'm gonna say B.
My first answer was D. What does Kino Bus say?
I don't Kino
I'm
bonus.
gonna go with what Kino Bus says.
All right.
I don't
I'm
know
gonna read this one more time before we answer. Bonus.
Sorry.
Short bus and Kino bonus. They're two different people.
I have to keep them straight.
You're getting combined.
Yes,
all right.
I'll put them both together.
The inside of the air cleaner is contaminated with engine oil. Technician A says that the PCV valve clean air filter in the air cleaner may be plugged. I don't even know what that is. Technician B says that the hose from the PCV valve to the intake manifold may be severely restricted. Who is correct? A only, B only, C both, D neither.
I don't see a lot of answers. We got a B, I guess.
Yeah, we got some B's. I see a bunch of B's. I like the E.
The E.
See, we got C. We got both. We got Kino bonus says both. Oh, careful. Charles says Tech B is always wrong. I don't know. I think that I'm gonna go with B.
I'm gonna stick with my first initial thing. Don't overthink it. I think it's neither of them.
Okay, so he's gonna go with neither. I'm not overthinking it. I'm taking like personal, but sometimes you've got to be careful about your personal experiences, because you know not everything works in a perfect world, and sometimes you sort of have to think about ASE questions as sort of operating in a vacuum. It's like everything else is absolutely perfect except for that one thing. And also, like, you got to remember that Tech A and Tech B, you also have to separate those in your mind. They're not being reactionary to each other. And what one says doesn't impact what the other says. They are completely two separate statements, and they have to be sort of treated as such.
Which is the one that? Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Which is the one? Oh, the perfect time for the
Perfect
second
timing.
one.
I know.
Which is the one that the hose is clogged?
It's Technician B.
B. I'm gonna. I changed mine real quick. B.
You don't get to change your answer.
Well, you can because actually what you can do on the test is, if you're unsure, you can flag it, and then at the end of the test, because you know the test is timed. The test is timed, so you don't want to spend too much time on one question. So if you're really struggling with one, because we spend a lot of time on these questions because we talk them through, and we also are talking to you at the same time, but really we should be answering these questions in like a minute or less.
Yes, you need to. So if it takes you longer than that,
you know, you can
Just
put a little
move
flag,
on.
and move on, and then come back to it.
And
because
then-
if you don't answer the question, it's wrong.
once
So
you
you've gotta
finish
guess.
all of it, then you go back and you have time. I got 5 more minutes. Go back and hit the ones that you didn't miss, as opposed to staying on one and then all of a sudden just get you.
Speaking of staying on one,
There
it's
you
time
go.
to answer the question.
All right,
Okay.
B.
B. A plugged PCV clean air filter causes excessive vacuum in the engine. I didn't know that. I've got to actually. What is a PCV clean air filter?
It's generally in the air filter. Oh, this is old school.
Old school.
The
That's why I don't know.
new ones that don't have a filter. But like I said, Chevy small block air cleaner. When you pull the air cleaner off, there's a little PVC filter on the side.
Oh! I know what you mean.
Mhm.
Oh.
And then, so it's a little bitty filter.
Oh.
I don't know how that being clogged causes excessive vacuum. Oh, that being clogged and the PCV valve is just pulling it up. Okay, excessive vacuum. Okay, but you know.
Well, yeah. See, that's why it's good to have both. See, that's why we're such a good team. Because I've got all like, you know, I'm living OBD2 and forward, and you know, he's good with carbureted stuff. So between the two of us, where you know we can sort of dominate these ASEs differently. I mean,
Yeah.
we
Now you don't
these
have the advantage of
perspectives.
having two people in next to each other to class, but.
That's true. Yeah. You won't have us talking in your ear when you're actually taking the test. In fact, most of the time you're going to be putting on noise canceling headphones when you're in
But
the
now, as an example,
Yes.
had you done this and already studied this, and you may have got it wrong when you were studying it. Once you get in the classroom and you're sitting there, you're going to be like, oh, And they don't have to even make sense, but you know what answer they're looking for.
Yes, yes.
So, and what they do is they change the wording a little bit because they want to know that you're just not reading the question, but it's the same question. It just may change the wording a little bit.
Exactly. So understanding what they mean. A lot of like ASE is like a little bit of its own language, and some of that language is like a little bit in the past.
A lot in the past. Yes.
A lot in the past. And then also like keep in mind too, like when you're taking the ASE test, what's going to happen is they're going to cycle in new questions. So not every single question on the test is scored. Sometimes they're going to be seeing like, all right,
good point.
Yeah, if you're taking an average of the questions that they have that are actually scored, then they're sort of seeing, all right, well, how many of these new questions that we're going to be introducing, because they're always just trying to like modernize it and sort of keep it up to date. So they'll be saying, okay, let's say that you got like a C, barely passing on the actual ASE, but you passed. Then they will sort of take that and say, okay, well, there are these, sometimes it's like 3 to 5 questions on each test. Actually, the ones that have more questions might actually be more than that. But the last one, it was 4 questions on my test that were not scored, that were just like test questions, and you have no idea what they are. But 4 questions that weren't scored, and it's them sort of gauging the audience, like the people that are answering the question, say, okay, is this a good question? Based off of their response, like based off of their test score, is this a good question to be added into the test? So there are some that might just be way out of your league.
Sometimes you may stop at that question. And you're like, I've never heard
it.
If you were to stop at that question and sit there for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, trying to really, really dissect it, as opposed to just moving on and coming back later, and it's one that's not going to be tested, so you got to use it is I don't say common sense, but you do have to just flow. Like I said, move, and then come back and go over the ones that you missed.
Yeah, exactly. So, are we not the best, like, ASE? Thank you so much, Hurtin. Oh my gosh, we're so happy that you're back here too. I'm just so happy to see you all. I'm just so happy to see you guys. All right, so we're halfway through, which means it is time for emails. You can email us at therealshopmom@gmail.com, and that goes to Shopmom, and she will pick our favorites to read to us, all of us, live to share. You can also just email us if you want to, and if you don't want it to be read live, you do not have to. If you just want to let us know that you enjoy the show, give us suggestions, give us your own ASE study tips. We love that. Please do that.
And also voicemails.
We
love the voicemails.
Voicemails are our favorite because then we love hearing your voice. I remember the first time we heard Farmer Girl Chickens and we're just like, oh my gosh, we feel like we know her now.
Love that accent.
Oh, we love her accent, yes. So then right behind us, 830, I'm having a hard time moving my neck.
Don't do that anymore.
830
308-8590.
Thank you. I forgot it. Leave us a voicemail, and once again, you can leave us a voicemail and then tell us that you don't want it to be played live on the show. If you just want us to be able to hear your voice and you want to leave us positive messages, negative messages will be deleted. And actually, Shopmom.
Actually, no, we laugh at negative.
Oh well, we kind of laugh at them.
So,
yeah, if they're funny, we laugh at them. But
That's
also,
right.
Shopmom is our filter. So if you have something negative to say about one of us, we'll never hear it. Sorry.
Charles says, I see now why the camera is so off-center.
Oh,
He says
Charles!
it's killing him, but it's okay.
Charles,
It's because we don't want to be turning
it's
around.
off center because we wanted you to be. Charles, it's off center so you can see how to get in touch with us, and so you can also see the fan and also see us. It's not off center. It's perfectly. Now, see if you cut it in half, and then you cut that in half, you see we have contact, Faye, fan, Danny. See? It's planned, okay? It's planned because
And
this
we were just trying to
live
mess with
stream
you.
is
To be
sponsored
honest,
by the
we were
Jan
just trying to
fan.
mess
We
with
were
you.
also we're just like, oh my god, Charles is gonna hate this. Charles is gonna hate
He's gonna
this
be
so
driving me
much.
crazy.
Charles is gonna be so mad.
But we're so glad you're here, Charles.
But we're so glad you're here. Yes. I'm like reading all of your comments and I'm just so happy. Oh my gosh. Hi Chris, we're so happy. Bearded CB, we're so happy to see you too. Thank you all so much for being here. All right, so
Hold on. Bearded CB says the total lack of chickens is disappointing.
Oh! Wait,
I'm sure he's being facetious.
I was about to say, total lack of chicken. Can we just, Danny, will you just please show
just
lack of chickens?
Lack of chickens.
What is it?
What are you talking about?
Dude, lack of chicken.
Everything is chicken.
Lack of chicken. Lack of chickens.
Lack of chickens.
What is this? I don't. Lack of chicken. No, you can accuse me of many things, Bearded CD. You cannot accuse me of lack of chickens. I also have several chicken tattoos, so I got 3. I got 3 crazy chicken lady tattoos. So let's not. Don't even go there.
Being facetious.
I take offense. Okay,
Don't
so
mess
that
with
being
their
said,
chickens.
we're halfway through our live stream, so Shop Mom has an email from one of you, and are we allowed to say? We already said who. We are allowed to say who.
It makes no difference whether
Perfect.
I'm allowed to or not. I do what I want.
Shop Mom
And
does
there
what she
you
wants.
go.
All right.
Okay, let me go back and find it because this was where I stole that one from. This is Rusty Blue Super Beetle Mechanic.
Rusty Blue Super Beetle Mechanic.
Hello, Danny and Faye. I just want to thank you both for being a huge inspiration to myself and mechanics all across the world. I stumbled upon one of your videos, Faye, about a year and a half ago about changing a filter on a third-generation Toyota 4Runner. I was amazed how enthusiastic and energetic you were, and you explained how to solve any problem with great detail. I began watching your videos the next year because I wanted to become an auto mechanic. It was through your videos I was introduced to Danny Solis and Shop Mom. Danny, by the way, if anyone asks me who is a good machinist that does great work, I tell them Hillside Country Performance and Machines is the best, hands down.
Truth.
My question to both Faye and Danny. I have changed careers at 41 years old, and I believe I have a job that starts at a dealership on Monday. What's the best piece of advice you could give me to avoid pitfalls so that I move up quickly and become a technician? I'm pursuing my ASE certifications for A1 engine repair and A6 electrical currently. Also, I'm in school at Lincoln Technical Institute. You all both are wonderful people, and I am glad to do the live streams and reach out to the public.
This is so cool. It's like I said, when we just when
We
It just-
live for
Although,
those
brief
emails.
correction, it isn't Hillside, it's Hill Country Performance. So,
but we'll take it any way that you can you say it.
that's
But
right.
that is
We live for those.
yes.
Oh
If
my
we
God.
touch one person in a positive way, that's really that's all done. I mean, really, we're not trying to pat ourselves in the back and just we want to give back. It's like Jessica. If we touch somebody, just one person positively in their career change or in anything, just in regular general life, that's really what makes us happy. I mean,
Okay, so that being said, he asked a very important question,
Yes.
which is, what advice would you give, starting out at the dealership? And and starting out at the dealership it's rough. There's a lot of things that you're going to probably sort of walls that you're going to run into at the dealership. So I'm going to start out by saying, first of all, do not let anyone discourage you. Because there is still that mentality that you'll find in the dealership. Because, when you start out, you're probably going to start out on the express line, which is awesome. That's where we all start out. We all got to pay our dues. And so you're probably going to start out at an hourly salary, and it's not going to be great. And then you're going to move up to the flat rate pay scale. And there is, I think, a problem with the flat rate pay scale. And I think a lot of, not the dealerships, but a lot of independent shops are starting to move away from flat rate and do sort of a pay that's more hourly with flat rate bonus. That change is not happening fast enough. So what's going to happen is you're financially rewarded for going fast rather than doing a really great, thorough job to a certain point. And so because of that, you've got a lot of the older technicians that have been doing it for a long time that'll be bitter. And I remember when I first started the dealership, everybody was, first of all, surprised to see me there, and surprised that I had a degree, and surprised that I had another career before becoming a technician, and discouraged me a ton. I remember a master technician that I just adored and worshipped and loved learning from, who took me under his wing, thank God, and taught me so much. And at the end of a very long day, I was so proud of myself, and I still remember to this day, he's like, Faye, I'd like to talk to you. And I was expecting him to say something really positive to me. And instead he said, you're too smart to be in this career, which I'm just like, oh, well, thank you. He's like, get out now. Get out now while you still can. You don't want to be here forever. And actually, I was just back in Portland recently, and I stopped by Broadway Toyota where I used to work, and he was still there. So I went up to Chris and I said, Chris, aren't you glad I didn't get out of it? Aren't you glad I didn't get out of it? Because you know what? I still love it. So it's really all about it's all about your attitude. Do not get discouraged.
attitude, that's a good thing. You're going to go in there and guess what? You're going to get the worst stuff there is.
Yep.
And really, you can do it two ways. Oh, I'm the one that's getting the greasy, grimy, the bottom of the car, and take that as positive and say, I'll take anything. Because you're learning.
Yep.
You're learning. So give me the lube rack.
Yeah.
But while you're doing it,
I changed oils
don't wear
like 2
headphones
years.
and just sit there and go, it's a job and I'm no. Take those things off, be there, be focused,
Be
and
present.
be absorbing everything you're doing. You will be the grunt. Guess what? You're starting at the bottom.
You got to.
Here's
You're going
the-
to take out the trash. You're going to empty the oil drain bin things that suck.
And keep your area spotless. Keep your area spotless while you're sitting there. Pick up a broom while you're sitting there. While you're walking to another car, pick up a broom and move it that way. There's no one's gonna. Shops. The bigger the shop has people that clean up. Right? Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Here's the problem. Faye brought up a real good thing. At a certain point, you're going to come to a crossroads of, do I want to just knock it out really fast and make money? So you'll hit the tire with an impact and out it goes, when really you know that you should probably put them on with an impact with a real low pressure and then take out a torque wrench and touch it. You're going to have all these old timers looking at you going, you're using a torque wrench. Hit it and go.
Yep.
Don't change it with how you do stuff.
Yeah. Don't sacrifice your own morals and values just to go fast. It will bite you in the butt in the long run. Also, I hate to make an example of Jessica because I'm sure that she might be a little embarrassed if I share the story. But hey, you posted it on social media, so I'm gonna call you out for this. I love the way Jessica recently handled a mistake that she made. And first of all, every single one of us has made this mistake. We've all left a drain plug loose. If you haven't, then you haven't been in the industry long enough.
We've all
broken a bolt. If you haven't, you're lying, or you haven't been in the industry long enough. So how do you handle that mistake? Do you say, do you blame it on the car? Do you blame it on, or do you say, whoops, that, mistakes happen. I see what I did, I see where I'm lacking. I told Jessica, I'm like, do you have a torque wrench? She's like, I think I have one somewhere. I'm like, great, bring it to work. Always set it, and then always use it, and that is your remedy. So how do you deal
adversity?
with issues?
How do you deal with the problem?
It's not the problem, because we're all gonna make problems. Because you know what? That car has had a million oil changes, maybe not a million. That car's had a ton of oil changes before you touched it. Someone else probably stripped the drain plug out. It's had a million other hands on it. Things are gonna happen that are outside of your control, and she might have done nothing wrong. And that just it was ready to break at that point. It's not the problem. It's owning it. It's not shipping it out. It's owning up to that problem and then being like, this is what I'm going to do from this point on, because you're going to make mistakes. We've all done it. We've all blown up engines. We've all caught stuff on fire. My first week at the dealership, I caught a car on fire, a Toyota Camry.
Well, you beat Jessica, so there you go. You didn't catch a car on fire the first week.
No. You're fine.
You're doing
fine.
good.
But it's the way that you bounce back from it and the way that you own it.
My uncle, I had an example of when he was young, 16-year-old, and started a shop, and within a month he became shop foreman in a machine shop at that young age.
Yeah.
One thing that, and not everybody's going to do, is this is weird, but it was a Vega come in, and it was just the short block, and he built the short block. He sent it to the customer out. The customer comes back, and he strips one of the head bolts while putting his own cylinder head on. Okay, it's an aluminum block, and he probably didn't know what he was doing. He probably didn't do it. My uncle actually went and punched out, went and got a helicoil kit, told the customer to bring it on a trailer. He put it on the side of the shop. During his lunch hour, he punched out, went, got on the trailer, opened the hood, put a helicoil in this engine, a 4-cylinder Vega, aluminum block, put the head gasket on, put the head on, and torqued it for the customer. Make sure it was all fine, put a helicoil in, done, told the customer, there you go, went, punched back in. The owner finds out later, hey, what were you doing working outside? Well, there was a stripped helicoil on there. Well, what, because, well, maybe I didn't clean all the holes out right. Maybe you could have easily gone, it's not my fault. We didn't put the head on. Look, whatever. And Les Bennett was, I still don't understand why you punched out. And my uncle says, I let you down. I made the shop look bad. Maybe I should have put a bolt in there. From now on, I'm going to put a bolt in the spacer, and I'm going to tighten every head bolt down to make sure that this doesn't happen again. And the owner was like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
You didn't stay. You didn't have to punch out. And my uncle said, "And I owe you for the helicoil." You don't. So be different in the sense of take pride in what you do.
Yeah.
If you go out there, hey, go do a set of brakes, and you did the back brakes, and you didn't look at the sheet, and it was like, oh my God, it was the front brakes. I went to the parts room and got the back brake. You could make up all kinds of stuff and say, look, the sheet, I couldn't see it, or someone told me I heard something, or you can just own it.
Exactly.
Own it. Pay for the parts. You know what? Let me stop. Boom. I'm gonna punch out or whatever and go back in. That's unheard of, and for the most part, you might get somebody to go, you don't need to do that. Own what you do and just be totally different in the sense of take pride in what you do.
Exactly.
Just,
And you're not. And I would also say give everything a year. because at first it's probably gonna suck, because it does. And then like just give it a year and always remember why you're there. If you need to like, you know, write a note to yourself in your locker, like this is why I'm here. And you're in, you know, you're not necessarily at that job, but you're in the trade for the long haul. And there are some things that you just can't teach. There's some things that you have to just go through on your own. You can't teach what a stripped bolt feels like. I can try. You've got to do that.
What did I say? Go out to a junkyard and break bolts.
Yes.
Break bolts.
Yep.
Go to a salvage yard that's scrapping these inches. Don't you know? And you take and start breaking oil pan bolts, valve cover bolts, 8mm bolts, 6mm bolts. Why? So you know
what it feels like.
Oh, that's what they're talking about. It feels spongy.
Right.
That's what they're talking about. And I like the advice that someone gave you when you first started. And I remember this, and now I'm using it as advice. Bring your own tools.
Yeah.
If you're doing this as a hobby, you're doing it as the first week, you might have somebody there that says you can use my toolbox. What was the thing after?
Yes. My first mentor, Jesse at Banchworks. Oh, yep. And I had a set of like small tools, but then you can never expect what specialty tools you might need, especially at the dealership environment. And a lot of times, they're not provided through the dealership. The master technicians will have purchased them off of, you know, like the Snap-on truck or something. So yeah, his rule was, first time you borrow it, you write it down. Second time you borrow it, you second time you save up for it. Third time, you buy it. So it's like, you know, sure, if you need it once, sometimes you're not gonna like buy an $80 tool you're gonna use once. That's why someone buys it, you know, and then there's some sharing. Third time, you buy it. You don't borrow something for the third time.
There you go. So another really good advice is if this is your career, this is what you're going to be doing. Start investing back into yourself, into your tools. You don't have to buy Snap-on the first day you get there.
Don't.
You know, Craftsman. I started with Craftsman.
Yeah, and now like, you know, our Capri tool set, which Jessica has, you know, which she won during one of our giveaways. And speaking of giveaways, in case you're new here, because we see that there's now 177 people.
Oh.
It's been a second. Shop Mom, will you please put our today's giveaway? Actually, this is this month. This is our
just
month.
so you know, I've continued to post it.
Oh, thank you.
And I remind folks to put in their submissions.
Yes, you can win not just this fan behind us. Actually, this is mine, so you can't win this one. This is one of them. They have ceiling mount fans. They have large fans, but they are fans that are made in the USA and made for the workplace. They are heavy duty. They are big. They are our biggest fan. I mean, it's massive fan. Yeah.
What I like about the fans also, you can tell if they're just in the fan business to dabble in the fan business, or are they really in the fan business. They have extension poles because some people like. You know,
I was not expecting to say that. That's funny. That was funny.
Well, they're fan people. This is what they do. Sorry.
Yes, and so we are going to choose those of you that are the most deserving to get the fan. So the competition is called This Fan Blows. And so if you follow the link that Shop Mom has been posting in the chats, and actually Hunter Industrial is here with us in the chats as well. So shout out to them. Thank you so much for sponsoring this live stream. What we're going to do is actually on their website, you just submit a picture of your crappy fan or a video of your crappy fan just totally, you know, sucking, not blowing. Because this fan blows. Maybe yours does too, maybe it doesn't. We want to pick the person that really, really needs the fan the most to get this. It'll be a lifesaver for you. So yeah, huge thank you. And everyone is thanking Hunter Industrial. Thank you, Brian. Don't forget to thank you.
Yeah. When they make a fan that's easily removable to clean, they're making a fan that you know that you're going to have
for life.
A cheap fan from, I'm not saying Walmart, whatever brand. What do you when a fan gets bad? You throw it away, you buy another $18 fan. When you invest in a fan that's powder coated, I mean, what I like, the first thing I'm taking it apart. And it has like safety pins on the big fan that you can just pull, come apart, and you can clean the fan.
I made a video about it.
And I'm sure that none of the other cheaper fans probably don't balance their fan blades. These things are just so smooth.
Yeah,
I mean, you know.
That's what. So when I had two of these, and because one for me and like Brandon wanted one, so I was like, all right, I'll order two. And Brandon was like blowing one at the other one, and it was just like spinning so fast. He was like, oh my gosh, the bearings on this thing are like unreal. I'm like, why didn't I get that on video? I'm like, there's my testimonial.
That's a good. You can put dueling fans to see which one blows, which one moves the fan.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god, this is such a good demonstration for like how a torque converter works. Anyway, okay, so.
Yeah, you can tell we love our fans.
Yeah, we do love our fans. We love you guys. Thank you so much for being here.
Speaking
Okay.
of fans, because
yes.
I know he's waiting, he's been very patient.
Oh.
David Johnson sent some mail.
Oh!
And I would like you guys to go ahead and open that because we've just missed everybody. And it's really special when you guys take the time to send something that you know we're going to love and appreciate.
We
And we
love
want
getting
everybody
mail.
in the room to see it at the same time.
Oh!
Yes,
Yes.
I didn't even
I don't even
open it. We haven't opened it yet. We don't know what's in here. Maybe it's something we don't want to
Oh
do.
my
I
gosh.
don't
But
know.
David
Maybe it's
Johnson-
something we don't want to see.
Maybe it's not suitable for I'm sorry.
This is a family-friendly show. Oh, okay.
It's David, come on.
Am I allowed to read this, David?
Yes.
I hope
Yes,
so.
you
Okay.
can.
Hi guys, welcome back. Well, I got a new hobby, 3D printing, and I made a few things for all of you. The big one is a stencil for Shop Mom and Faye to share. LOL, LOL. I hope you get it.
We're going to be at a divorced parents meeting on the side of the road.
With the divorce parenting on the oh my god, I love
To
that.
avoid injury, do not tell me how to do my
Do
job.
not tell me how to do my job. Wait, is that one for me and Shop Mom to share? Oh, excellent.
Oh,
I
if you
need
can
that.
do
Oh,
that.
that's amazing.
That is just a great job. I do 3D printing too, and you're kicking it. Look at you.
This
is for
hobby has
Shop
kept
Mom.
me going
This is for
since my
Faye.
dad passed away in March of 2020. I've been having a hard time, but I have a strong wife and mom to keep me up. And my mom's full-time caregiver, I'm my mom's full-time caregiver, and it can be really tough. If there's anything you would like me to make, just hit me up. Sincerely, Dave Johnson. We love this.
Yes,
Oh my God, this is amazing. Thank you so much. We have the best fans.
We have
We have the best fans.
We have the best
and the best
fans.
fans. This is
This
not
is
the best-
yours. I was just
this-
trying to give
Oh,
it.
thank you. Oh my gosh, I'm
That's
so.
it for
this
Faye.
is. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. I say so. By the way, if you want to send us mail, you can. I have a PO box that I have actually listed on the community tab in the About Me portion, and then also you can always send things here to Hill Country Performance and Machine here off of Highway 281 in Spring Branch. What is this? If these are what? I don't even know what. You've got to be kidding me.
Oh, that is cool.
That is awesome!
That's a super emblem.
Yes! Oh my gosh, I love that. Oh my god, are these little?
one for you.
Oh my god, are these chicken
little
ornaments?
chicken
I
ornaments.
just got
Oh
through telling
my
Hunter
God,
fans
are
what
they-
an inclusive group this is.
Do we just love
Thank
this
you,
group?
David, for proving you
I
right.
just love this. Is the best.
Those
Oh
are
my
cool.
god,
I know, I
love
saw
these.
another super
Oh
one.
my god, I love these. This is so cool. And also, like, do we have the most like diverse and like talented group of folks? Like from we have the most skilled. David Johnson also made us some amazing model cars. I don't know if you've seen that model of my Supra, which I love. I actually I have a my video editing computer at home, like has a bunch of lights in it, and it's like got clear glass and it's all lit up, and I have all my Supra models inside my computer tower, and they're all lit up. So every time I'm editing a YouTube video, David Johnson, I think of you. Oh my god. Oh my god. He remembered.
He remembers.
Okay, this is actually a problem. This is actually a problem. Not me. That's not me.
No. These are great.
Oh my God! Yes.
Yes, you can see that one.
This
Yes.
is proof that David Johnson listens to
Yeah,
everything we
yeah,
say on the
it's
live
right.
stream.
Yes.
That is so. Yes, that's a problem. That is a problem here. That's a problem no more, however. But I won't mention any names.
Yeah.
Okay.
And since we're talking about stuff that you should, kind of factor in when you're working at a place,
Yeah.
when you break something, own up to it.
Yes.
Don't put it back and pretend it didn't happen.
Oh,
Don't
more good advice.
modify brand new tools. Don't take it upon yourself to correct the machine. I'm sorry, I digress. Go back to what you were saying.
Yes! Oh, good, I got one too. Good. This is going up. This is going up in the shop restroom. You know what I will say though? I do not have this problem with Megan. Megan is never on her phone when she's working.
That's
The only
That's
that is amazing. Like okay, and
Put the
Megan's
phone
young.
away. That's
Megan started working with me when she was 15. She's 18 now, and I've never I had to ask
and she
her.
interned here for a summer.
intern.
Yeah.
Never on her phone. Never. So that's another tip.
That would be the next tip. Don't go and disappear in the bathroom.
Yes.
Oh, look, morning.
Yes.
There we go.
Athena. Beware of Athena. She's bitey. Athena bites.
You're kicking it with your.
Oh my god!
We have chickens.
These are going up in the shop.
I like how you put the screw holes.
This is going up. David Johnson. Well, if you want to send us mail
You're
like
over the
this,
top.
yeah, I was about to say like that.
We're completely distracted by the ASE question.
Well, let's get back to
Yes,
ASE.
yes.
Thank you so much, David Johnson. Oh my goodness.
We'll be here for 4 hours.
We'll be here for 4 hours.
Yes.
No, we love our fans. You guys are amazing. Thank you
You-
so
you got all
much.
of it. David, that's awesome.
Everybody.
We have missed everybody. All right, so we are
Okay.
on to question 4. And question 4 is, wait, are we on question 3? No, we just, oh no, we're on question 3. I'm sorry. We're behind.
Yes, we're behind.
Final,
Okay.
well, okay. Now people know that it's actually us because we're behind. So we're behind and we're late, so that's how you know that it's actually us.
Mhm.
This is not the way you want to be in the shop, though. You want to always be on time with the shop. But you
At
know,
least 30 minutes early.
At least 30 minutes early. Yeah, and don't clock in and then get dressed. Clock in when
Another
you're
good
walking out
point.
to the
Yes.
just all these little things. It's like, you know, like the system does suck, you know, stink. The system stinks. You are a cog in a machine sometimes when you work at a big dealership, and there is so much temptation to just do all those little things. Do not let the dealership environment change who you are as a person. Do not. Never forget why you started. Okay. Question 3. Who's ready? Who's ready? I'm ready.
I'm ready. And Terry's not here, but
Oh!
look at Terry sent me from
Well,
Germany.
we're only
All right.
15 minutes late.
Well, we're 50
That's
minutes late,
fine.
so we're gonna move on.
And we gotta set another chicken timer.
Okay.
All right, so, and if you have this ASE study book, which I know, I think Jessica might be the only one in the room that does, we are skipping ahead to, actually this is more emission control. However, we're in the engine performance. We're doing A8 right now, which I actually passed with flying colors, so I should get this one. Now I'm putting pressure on myself. Never do
Yes,
that.
here we go.
All right, question 93. A vehicle has a restricted catalytic converter. When the converter is replaced, the technician notices the monolith in the old converter is actually melted together. Technician A says that the engine should be checked for high NOx or NOx emissions. Technician B says that the engine should be checked for higher than normal coolant temperature. Who is correct?
So you only have
Technician A only. Technician B only. I'm sorry, B, Technician B only. C, both Technician A and B, and D is neither. I'm gonna read it one more time because that's kind of a weird one.
tricky. Yes.
Okay. A vehicle has a restricted catalytic converter. When the converter is replaced, the technician notices the monolith in the old converter is actually melted together. This is the first time I've heard it called a monolith, so I'm making a note that that's an ASE word.
Because that's what they're going to use.
I
never
call
heard
it a
of
honeycomb. What do you call it?
Platinum.
Platinum.
Yeah.
Palladium, I think.
Palladium, but it's a but a
yeah,
honeycomb. Yes.
I've
It's
never.
a byproduct of mining platinum.
It's a byproduct of mining platinum.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was the first
I've
thing I
never
thought.
heard it called
Monolith.
that.
Yeah, that's new for me. So we're all just
And
sort
since
of.
you're asking the question, we can pretty much know that is correctly what you call it. So we just
Right.
learned something.
Right. Yeah, we all learned. I learned something. Yeah. Gosh. This is my first time reading this question. Okay. Technician A says that the engine should be checked for high NOx emissions. Technician B says the engine should be checked for higher than normal coolant temperature. Who's correct?
Well, we know it's not the should be checked for high NOx because the high NOx is
It's a byproduct of a bad catalytic converter.
it's a byproduct of heat.
Oh, and heat.
When you raise the exhaust temperature really high, then you're going to have a high NOx. That's what you're going to be. Well, you've already taken the old one off and put a new one on.
Right,
So
so you're gonna
checking
get-
for NOx now is
Right,
it's
with the new converter on.
Yeah,
like,
no,
isn't that? I mean, I feel like this
no,
is.
high NOx isn't going to burn the converter. The converter was burnt, and that's why it made high NOx.
Right,
So
right. That's exactly.
But the second one,
Yeah, Technician B says that the engine should be checked for higher than normal coolant temperature.
so if the engine's running hotter, would that burn the exhaust? I would say no.
No.
I'm going to say neither of the two.
I'm also gonna say neither. I mean, like sometimes an engine can burn dirt, like if it's burning hotter.
I mean, it could do
You
it,
can't,
but it'll burn the pistons too.
Yeah, if it's.
Because
I mean, I've seen an engine burning, like, if the exhaust temperature is really hot, I have seen that cause damage to the catalytic converter. So I'm tempted, Technician B is tricking me a little bit. However, it does not say high EGTs.
yes.
It says high ECTs.
And coolant temperature being hotter means that everything else is going to be hotter, so it could be that one.
It could be,
But
but I also feel like if it like we got to think ASE here. If they wanted us to think it was exhaust gas temperatures, wouldn't they say EGTs? I don't know. What do you guys think? Yes, Need Metal says it is too rich. That's exactly what I'm thinking. And a lot of times, if it's too rich, your coolant temps are lower, right? Because it's trying to like.
If it's too rich, generally your exhaust temperature drops. Generally,
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, because fuel is actually a coolant. That's why
right.
they inject a lot of fuel
Yes.
to cool off stuff.
But also, when you're warming up an engine, it's going to run much richer as well. And if there's faulty coolant temperature readings, so if the ECU or ECM thinks that the coolant or the engine is actually colder than it should be, it's going to want to run richer to try to get it up to operating temperature to then burn efficiently. So I'm thinking that I'm gonna say neither. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I'm thinking neither, just because if the coolant temperature got so hot that it burnt that, to me, would have blown a head gasket. But that's me overthinking stuff. In other words, we don't know what if it did any damage or not. So I would say neither. But
Yes.
you know.
Yeah, right. Right. That's what I think too. This is a really hard one. This is a tricky one. A lot of people are saying D. Yeah, Jessica says I'm gonna go with neither. Let's see.
Bob says no.
Yeah.
D. Neither.
ASE asked someone else. Yeah, I know we do love making fun of the ASE test questions, but you know what? Like we talk about the downsides of them, and we also talk about the benefits of them. It's an evil we kind of have to embrace.
If they would have had on there a restriction of the exhaust,
right?
Would be yes, that's it.
But it's not. We've got two technicians with different. Yeah. Exactly. Brian says you're burn rich. I would say yes. Melt a cat, but coolant, Yep. A lot of people saying running too rich. That's exactly right. It's like, yes. That's not an option though. So we've got to we instantly sometimes in the question, we sort of snap at diagnosis, we get into diagnosis mode. If that car was to come to my shop, what would I think? And it has nothing to do with what either of these technicians are saying. I wouldn't.
The cat needs to run at 1600 degrees to be optimal to burn the excessive hydrocarbons that are in the exhaust.
Right.
Okay, and it needs to get up to 1600. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Uncle Sport.
So it needs to get up to 1600 degrees extremely quick. So fuel injected models or engines with computers and everything, fuel injected, what they do when you first start it up, they actually retard the timing. Retarding the timing will build up excessive heat in the exhaust pipe. Also will lean it out a little bit to build up excessive heat exhaust pipe to get that catalytic converter up to 1600 degrees really fast to pull a good emissions test really fast. So that's why I'm just thinking,
now we're overthinking it.
I'm overthinking it. I'm gonna say neither.
Neither. I'm kind of scared.
It's going to be the coolant temperature is overheating.
Yeah.
I've never known an engine that ran hot to burn up a catalytic converter. So there you go. It's neither. Done.
But I've seen really hot exhaust temperatures melt a catalytic converter. So it's like, okay. But also people, we are not ASE professionals. We are just mechanic machinists trying to get through these too. So if we get these wrong, don't blame us.
Okay, and the winner is melting.
Okay, this is 93.
Look at Short Bus.
93.
Look at there.
What did Short Bus say?
It took 2800 degrees to melt.
Oh my God. Yeah, it
That's
doesn't.
the melting point of platinum.
What is this, 93? Okay, question 93. Okay, 55, 60, 60, 80, 80, 90. Okay, 93. D! Did you get it right?
You get it right?
Have a drink.
Right.
If you got it wrong, also have a drink.
Yes.
Of my see, it's my brain juices. Technician A is incorrect because high NOx emissions are caused by high combustion temperature, but this should not melt the monolith in the catalytic converter.
Even in the way they gave an answer, that's wrong. No, what it should have been is the high NOx. It was could have had high NOx with a bad converter, but once you put the new catalytic converter on, it didn't make any sense. So, but what you would do is you would take what they said there as their answer and go ahead and store it, because it may come back in a test and they're going to reuse it again as they're thinking as the answer.
Yeah, I don't like that answer, but that's okay. And a lot of times, a lot of times you read the questions and you actually never get the answers. when you get your response back to ASE.
Oh, you don't?
You have no idea which ones you got right or wrong. All that you get is your score. So you don't even know which ones. There's a lot of times I'm just like, oh god, that question is so bad. And that's true, like, oh, and if you do like the ASE app, so I had the ASE app for the renewal, and my favorite part about the ASE app is at the end, because so every month what it does is you answer questions every month, and if you answer all of them right, or 8 out of 12 right in a year, you extend the ASE credentials that you already have for the next year. And it's $50 for a year. I tried it out because my steering and suspension was about to expire last December, and I bought the app like super quick, and then like answered a question. It's like, oh, well, you're good for another year. I'm like, sweet, that was worth $50. So I'm not like, I don't really like the app a ton, but the best part about it is the comment thread at the end. Because when there's a question that is terrible, and you're like, oh, I can't believe I got it wrong, then you're just like, well, let's see how many other people got it wrong. And then like the chat thread, like everyone's all upset about the question, you're just like, validation, I'm not the only one. Yes. So that's like, I mean, that is worth the app in and of itself. Okay, so all right. Technician B is incorrect because higher than normal coolant temperature does not melt the monolith in the catalytic converter. This damage is likely caused by a rich air-fuel ratio.
Oh,
which is what everyone said in the, well, a lot of people said.
But no, that's good.
I mean, not necessarily, because also a super lean air-fuel ratio, like you were saying, can melt it. So, but I think this is also like in a perfect world sort of thing. Mm-hmm. Where do we go? Okay. C is incorrect because both of them are wrong. D is correct because they're both wrong. Okay, so, wow. All right, so I learned something with that question. What do you guys think? Did you? What do you think about that? Did you learn from that question? Like, that was really interesting.
They're learning like I'm not gonna take admissions testing. I'm gonna let somebody else do that.
Yeah. That was a really hard one. Actually, I know that we're sort of getting to the end of our live stream. Actually, we should have ended our live stream about 11 minutes ago, but
before we
keep going.
We do have a voicemail that somebody took the opportunity to send while we were doing this podcast.
All right.
We like our audience participation.
We love audience participation. So not only are we going to play the voicemail, we're also going to announce our competition one more time, and then we can exit with one last question sort of quickly, and then we'll let you know when we will be live next to announce the winners of our giveaway and where you can see us next, because in between now and our next live stream, I'm going out to All Girls Garage for a week, and they're going on vacation for a week.
Not long enough.
Not long enough. So we've got some space in between. So we'll let you know, and then also we're gonna be getting back on a regular schedule once like school season starts as well, or like school season.
You've been traveling quite a bit. Yes.
I'm so done. I'm so done with traveling. Yeah. Yep. So I've been gone. Now it's their turn to be gone. So yes, we'll do that. All right. In the meantime, Shop Mom, let us know when you're ready with that voicemail. And while Shop Mom is getting up that voicemail, I'll take this opportunity to remind everyone that we are doing a giveaway of a Jan fan. This one behind us, or, well, actually not this one because this one's mine. You can get a small one, you can get a large one, you can get one that is on a pedestal, you can get one that mounts to a wall. There are a whole bunch of different fans. They're our favorite fans. Hopefully they're your favorite fans. And they also sponsor this live stream, which we're so stoked. What happened to Christy Lee? Nothing. Actually, so Christy hasn't been on All Girls Garage for a while. She is moving, like, I don't want to say moving up because I love All Girls Garage, and I love that show so much, especially after doing more different sorts of shows. I love Motor Mythbusters. It's very different. It made me appreciate a ton about All Girls Garage. Not because Motor Mythbusters wasn't great, it was just so different. I love that show. But yeah, so actually Christy and I have grown really close. She's actually one of my closest friends right now. She's been so helpful to me. She's been amazing. We pretty much talk daily. She actually has a new show coming out in 2 weeks from today called Celebrity IOU, where she's working with like A-list celebrities where they get to give back to people in their lives that were important through car builds. So
cool.
It's actually really cool. So one of them is like a school bus salon conversion. Another one, she builds like a Volkswagen bus. And I personally know how hard she worked because when she was out filming the show in California, I was in California. So we met up, and I remember the day that she was working on the bus, and she came and her arms were just torn up. She was like bleeding. She was like, "Do you have a Band-Aid?" She's like bleeding. I'm like, "What are you doing?" She worked so hard on that show. I'm really excited to see like how it turned out. And it was really interesting hearing her perspective of actually working with A-list celebrities. It's a definitely different world. It's definitely a different world.
I just think it's so cool. You're more excited about her show
Oh,
than your
no,
new
my
show.
show's great too.
Yes, that's awesome.
No, my
that's
show-
genuine. That's
different.
awesome.
It's different because like I'm nervous about mine. I haven't watched it yet. And actually now is a great opportunity for me to welcome all of you who are local here to a watch party live here in the Hill Country if you're local. So there's an awesome place called High Cider in High, Texas, and they have this amazing outdoor area, and they're gonna put it up on a big screen outside, and that's actually I'll post information for that. Now that is it's not a meet and greet. I'm going to be watching it too. I'm going to be enjoying myself. So I'm so happy to meet anyone that wants to meet me. I'll sign some stuff if you have stuff, but like don't stop me and try to tell me your entire life story or everything about the car that you're building or ask me questions about some obscure All Girls Garage episode from like 3 years ago that I don't remember because I want to watch it too.
And you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it. So I'm going to be enjoying it with you guys. So come, there's food, there's drinks, there's popcorn. High Cider is awesome if you haven't been there already. And by that time, I might feel good enough. I'll probably have a beverage at that point because I've been improving since my accident. So, and for those of you who are asking, I'm okay. I'm doing much better. I'm improving more every single day, and the car is going to be fine. But I will definitely say the car saved my life. Let that be a massive testimonial to Toyota. Because when you hear like people say like they panic and like Jesus take the wheel. In this like I'm gonna name the car like something like Guardian Angel because that car like the safety system on that car is so intense. Like I panicked and the car just drove for me. Like it just took over because it has like lane assist. It can tell when you're in the lane, and like the active. I was driving down the middle of the road at cruise control, not the middle of the road, but like in the center lane, and I was hit by a drunk driver in the rear going way too fast. And
in a truck?
Just in a work truck on the job. He was in a work truck and he was on the job and it hit me and I spun around. And somehow I managed to miss everybody and safely make it to the side of the road. So we're both a little banged up, but we're both going to be fine. So thank you for everyone that was asking.
And the car has all the data.
And the car had all the data. Yes.
All the data, how fast you're going, what lane you were in, if you were changing lanes while it
Yep.
happened. All of this great data,
Yeah.
which is like...
Well, it's a little big brother. Like I was scared. I'm just like, oh my god, because the first thing you do is like I get in the seat. And there's this big sticker over your head that's just like, oh, this data is being monitored. I'm like, I don't want them to know where I'm going all the time. But it was also a blessing in disguise because I was able to pull that data and it's like, oh, well, all right, well that.
That's the timer for
That's our voicemail. But yeah, all right. So to finish that story real quick, I was able to prove I was going. Oh,
Go ahead.
so to finish that story real quick, I was able to show them easily like I was going actually under the speed limit. I was going 73 and an 80, and I was in my lane. I was on cruise control, and I was not driving erratically. And so I was able to pull that data, and it just sort of helped make my case with the insurance company and just sort of prove my innocence. I mean, even though it's so clear someone hit me from behind, not that I would have to do that anyway, but it really is a fantastic testimonial for that car. I mean, I already loved that car. I didn't think it was possible to love that car anymore.
But a super getting hit by a Ford truck.
A white F-150 work truck.
And it's not totaled.
It's not totaled. Actually, less than $5,000 of damage. I just found out today. So it's like I panicked. I thought it was the end of the world because it's my first ever new car, and I'm also like it's not paid off. It's a lease. So like I panicked. But it's all gonna be okay. So thank you everyone who asked. I saw a whole bunch of comments right away when I said, forgive me for not drinking and forgive me for being a little weirdly robotic stiff. So all right, voicemail time.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hey guys.
Oh.
Listen, my name's Carlos. I'm calling from California. Just wanted to let you know, me and my son came here to start our barbecue. We all worked together, and we were just jumping up for joy when we saw you guys back online. Thank you so much. We enjoy watching you and all the stuff that goes on. We appreciate it. We're following Faye since the get-go. Great to see you guys. God bless you. Bye.
God bless you.
Oh
It's cool.
my
Like I said, just
We so appreciate those messages, folks.
They really, I mean, that's the reason why we're here. It's like we would do this I mean, like we would
We
we
talk
would just
about
talk to each other about ASE. Like this
And they do.
We'd be doing this anyway.
We'd be
So
doing
it's
this anyway.
nice.
But you know, like doing it live, like talking and sharing ASE stuff, and you know, doing the giveaways and all this stuff. Like we do this for you guys as well. Like it really like it feeds our hearts and souls when we know that that we positively impact your life. Like that there's
We
nothing
get bummed
more.
too. We get bummed too. These are some tough
We have hard
times.
days. We have hard days,
We get,
yeah.
you know, you get one comment that somebody, you know, you do a video, somebody makes a comment.
It's like, that's a
and,
dumb thing. It's like-
oh, why don't you do it to the left? Why don't you do it to the right? Whatever the thing is.
The
And
ones that I like are when they want to know, is that your dad?
This is not my dad.
so just you know, you get bummed. It's like, well, why do we do it? Why, you know? Like I said, we would do it anyway, and it's kind of neat. It is just neat to we get as much enjoyment out of this
We really
as
do.
y'all do. So.
Yeah.
Reciprocity is a wonderful concept, folks, and the fact that you
We love
feel
the
for us the
voicemails.
way we feel for you, it's cool. Thanks
We
a lot.
love the voice. So if you would like to leave us a voicemail, right behind us is the Shop Mom hotline. So go ahead and leave us a voicemail. You can also leave us a voicemail. You know, if you don't want us to play it, let us know. And if you just want to leave it for us, we love that too. And also you can send us an email to therealshopmom@gmail.com. Once again, you can send us something that you want to keep private, or you can send us something to read during our little intermissions between ASE test questions, and those make our lives.
And Straight Line Cycles has a good question that we're not going to get to it now, probably, whatever.
yes,
He had a real good question about the batteries, and he mentioned this before. I actually have some nice surprises for Straight Line Cycles, but I don't know. He had about the battery. It's kind of a myth-busting thing for you about a battery on concrete.
Oh, so actually for season 2, if we get picked up for season 2, we are going to be taking actual questions from real people, and you can actually, I mean, honestly, like we're taking notes now. So a great place to submit those questions is on the Motor Mythbusters Instagram page, because that is actually created and monitored by the head producer of Motor Mythbusters. So like he runs it. I send him some pictures every now and then. Actually, like, I guess I won't say social media stuff. But if you post those questions, that is the best way for him to actually see them and for them to get written down and noticed. But we will actually get to a point once we hear good news about season 2, then we will be taking questions, and I'll make sure to let you know where to put the questions, or you know where to submit them if you do want to, because that's all we want is to actually bust myths that you're actually really asking. Now you said you wanted to bust it, or I mean if you want to do it.
He had a real good question, because it's actually one of those Mythbuster questions that is all the time about a battery, putting it on concrete or not.
Oh yeah. I always put it on a wooden block. I have no idea why.
Yeah, because
I have no idea why.
Because we grew up, put it on a wooden block and put it on a floor, and I don't know if so this is already going to get controversial because I still put mine on something. And yes, it's true. The new batteries aren't affected by the concrete floor.
Yeah, I was always. Yeah, I've heard that too.
But it is affected by a concrete floor. So it's kind of one of those Mythbusters that you got to do actually testing, because it's the cold of the concrete.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily the concrete sucking the ions from the acid or.
Yeah, well, because that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Really,
so and I just kind of like, I'm old school. I'm still not going to put it on a concrete floor.
Block
But it's a myth, and that's actually a real good one that needs to be.
That's a good one.
Like with data. Actually,
Well, you heard it here first.
Yeah, actually putting a meter on it, putting one on concrete, putting one not. I mean, that's actually a real good. That's a good one.
That's a great question. Yeah. Now, should we end the live stream with one more super quick ASE that is not probably going to be super quick? What do you guys think? Let's see in the chats. Do you want one more? Is it time to go? Would you like one more ASE question, or is it time for us to go? I mean, also.
Jessica says yes, because we know, and guess what? All we needed was one person to say yes.
All right, we're doing it.
Everybody else can log out now if you want to log out. But
right. Jessica. Okay, so we're gonna stay in engine performance because that's the chapter that we're in right now, and I don't feel like looking for anything specific. How about this one? I'm on page 586, and our drinks are done yet.
So we're just about.
All right. Page 586, and we're in question 12. Oh, this is the post test. Okay, the post test. So assuming we've already gone through the entire test at this point, so this one might be a little harder. A vehicle experiences repeated PCM failure. Each time the PCM fails, the PCM driver that operates the fuel pump relay stops functioning, and the fuel pump becomes inoperative. The fuel pump relay winding has the specified resistance. That's a lot of information. I'll read this one over a few times. Technician A says that the suppression diode in the fuel pump relay may be defective. Technician B says that the fuel pump motor may have shorted windings and high current flow. Who is correct? A, Tech A only. B, Technician B only. C, both. D, neither. I'm going to read that again. I'm confused. So maybe y'all are confused. A vehicle experiences repeated PCM failure. Each time the PCM fails, the PCM driver that operates the fuel pump relay stops functioning, and the fuel pump becomes inoperative. The fuel pump relay winding has the specified resistance. Technician A says that the suppression diode in the fuel pump relay may be defective. Technician B says that the fuel pump motor may have shorted windings and high current flow. Who is correct?
Is it a trick question? Because I've never, what type of diode? A
Suppression diode.
Have you ever heard of a suppression diode?
Actually,
I've heard of a diode.
yeah, not a suppression diode, but I'm understanding the concept of what it's supposed to be, and there are separate diodes and resistor packs on older Toyotas. Interesting though that they call it a PCM, because sometimes you can get a hint about the manufacturer of vehicle based on how they refer to the vehicle's engine computer. In this case, a PCM is a powertrain control module, and Toyota doesn't call their computers a PCM, a powertrain control module. So I know this is not a Toyota. You'll also see an ECU, engine control unit, or ECM, engine control module, all the same, like all different words for the same thing. So I don't actually, I think a PCM is like a GM, maybe someone in the chat.
GM, and I believe Honda.
Oh, calls it a PCM, powertrain control module. Yeah, let me know. Okay, all right. See, Brian says that the PCM fails, all system fails. Most ECU failures are electrically based. You know, and that's another thing is
a diode is a one-way check valve.
Yes.
Essentially, it lets power go one way but not come back the other way. So if you have like a bad diode, then it would actually, you could cut the engine off and it would drain your battery and so on and so forth.
Yeah,
so,
and power can flow both ways.
Yes.
And that could actually cause damage to the engine control module. Although a lot of times they have a lot of safeties built in. So I'm very hesitant to think that there would be any ECU damage done by any electrical systems on the vehicle itself. I actually I don't think that either of these technicians are correct.
It sounds like a ground issue, but
yeah. I'm gonna say D.
And that's a tip for early technicians when you can't figure it out. Sounds like a ground issue to me.
Brian Cycle says if you're in Missouri, the rats already ate the wire.
Yeah.
Or in the hill country, you'll find corn everywhere.
Oh God! I'm going to read this through one more time. Okay, so David Johnson says he thinks that PCM are in Chrysler and Dodge. All right. Yep. And Brian says that the ECUs have built-in protector diodes. Absolutely, like the ECMs, engine control modules have so many levels of protection, which is another thing. Quite often when people have a hard time diagnosing a vehicle, they'll sort of jump to, oh, it must be the computer. I have only diagnosed one faulty ECU in my entire life, and it was actually faulty, but it took everything. Like I threw some parts that I wasn't even sure at it before I felt comfortable diagnosing an ECM because
which is the way it usually goes because of the smoke test and how much the parts cost.
Oh God!
Yeah, so PCM is usually like, well, let me try.
Usually the last one, and I was calling the tech hotline. Like I needed a lot of help because I did not feel comfortable diagnosing a computer because most of the time it's not the computer unless we've got a water intrusion issue or like a rodent issue or like we're seeing a ton of deterioration in the wire, like in the internals of the wire that then you're seeing like actually happen on the connector. It's like very, very rare that you see a problem. At least from my experience. So I am repeated PCM failure. I don't think either of these would cause that. I just don't. What do you guys think? The electrical scanner couldn't detect it? Yeah, Lord help me, I just need a computer to tell me what's wrong. No, sometimes the computer makes it more difficult. But, you know, it gives you the general, you know, you plug in, you get a general idea, but all you're seeing is just like, you're seeing the symptoms, you know, so.
Well, we've had a lot of people supporting the show.
Oh my God! Thank you, Weatherbird.
That's
then we
Sky.
had
Thank you, Mallory.
Cook, and then we
Weatherbird
have,
is Sky. Sky Watson.
Sky! Oh my God! Thank you, Sky.
and then for Junior 1927.
Oh, thank you so
we've
much.
had,
I love what you
y'all
do.
are
You
awesome.
never work a day in your life. Oh my gosh, you are so awesome. And shout out to Sky too. Sky's gonna be working this weekend at Girl Gang Garage, working on the all-female Iron Maven build, which is also where our beloved Megan will be this weekend as well.
Oh, cool.
Her grandparents, for her graduation gift, actually funded her trip to go out and work on the Iron Maven, which is the latest all-female build for SEMA.
Such a
So
cool
And
build.
I
really
oh,
proud
that is
of
cool.
her.
The Volvo build is real cool, and I
So
wanted to ask
cool. We're
Sky,
so
did you
proud
get
of her.
that easy out? But we don't need to get to that. And like I said, don't be hard on yourself. It happens to the best
Oh
of us.
yes, absolutely. Yeah, you know, actually, Sky, we were just talking about that. We are so glad to see you here in the chat. Thank you so much for being here, Sky. Okay, so
The answer is
I'm nervous.
I think we're gonna go with none of the above.
yeah, I'm
You know
gonna go
what?
D. I mean, but also like that's, I mean, I'm a little bit biased anyway. I just don't think that those things would cause a PCM
I'm
to
gonna
fail.
go with my old faithful. It sounds like it's a ground issue.
Yeah. So I used to say, we're both gonna say D, and you know, I've seen a lot of D's as well. I've seen a lot of D's in the chat. We've got a B in the chat as well, but I'm seeing, we got a couple A's. Okay, we've got a couple A's. Oh crap! Now don't make me doubt myself. Oh gosh.
All right,
Okay.
Let's see.
Just want to thank everybody for the thumbs up and that one hostage in the room. We're praying for you.
Yes, if you
Okay.
can release yourself, push yourself back.
Yes. Oh yeah. We got hostages. We have one hostage.
We have one.
One
Yeah,
hostage.
one-
Oh, it
It's
happens.
fine.
You
It
know,
does.
every now and then, someone is just held against their will and forced to watch a live stream, and
I think
they
that-
can barely.
yes.
I mean, they can't really get free because they're stuck. But
And
they
they
somehow
and they push 'em up to the-
manage to be able to tap the dislike button.
I think they're using their nose.
They must use their nose. So I'm so like, pray for the hostage.
Yeah.
We hope that they're freed. All right. So actually, I'm gonna say you know what, the most responses that we've had were actually A in the chat, Jeep Guy, JG, and actually they're right.
They're
we
right?
were wrong.
Yo, I got it wrong, so I have to take a drink to that.
That was my last drop, so perfect timing. All right, I want to know why. A
Yes.
defective suppression diode in the fuel pump relay may cause the induced voltage in this relay winding to be applied against the PCM driver each time the relay shuts off. So technician A is correct. High current flow through the fuel pump motor would damage the fuel pump relay contacts, but this defect would not damage the PCM. Thus, technician B is incorrect. Wow, I'm going to read that again. A defective suppression diode in the fuel pump relay may cause the induced voltage in this relay winding to be applied against the PCM driver each time the relay shuts off. I'm gonna have to study that one. I didn't know that. Wow.
Because,
Wow,
because
good
of the
job,
bad
you
diode,
guys.
electricity was going backwards when it should shut off.
Backflowed. Yes.
Yes.
So one of the safeties built into the system was built in externally in this case, rather than internally to the PCM, was built into the fuel pump. Wow. Okay. That is really cool. Dwayne says I had to look up what the suppression diode did. Learned something today. That's it. That's exactly all
and I
learned
did too.
today. Yeah,
Yeah.
I learned a ton today.
Mhm.
So thank you all so much for being here. Thank you so much for those who have entered our giveaway. One more time before we go, we are so freaking grateful for the folks at Hunter Industrial and JanFan. Honestly, this is obviously we've worked with them before in the past. They reached out to us and really love what we do. So thank you so much to them for appreciating what we do. And really, it was their push saying, hey, we'd love to give one of these fans away to one of your fans. And we're just like, well, I guess that means we've got to do a live stream. And it was really the push that it took. So we're really grateful to Hunter Industrial to really get us back in the groove. Sometimes you just need you need a push. You know, you need a push. And like, you know, we've all got a lot going on right now. You know, I'm still like, I spent all morning recording some voiceovers and some like final stuff for, you know, the next few episodes of Motor Mythbusters, and it's been a lot of work that we've both been doing. So,
and even if you don't use, if you're not in there's a lot of people that actually come to the live streams that aren't mechanics.
Technicians.
You could use this fan
I
in your
love our
sewing room,
PhDs.
your art room.
Yup. Yeah. Well, exactly. Right. So, like, for painting, for safety, like, you know, I spilled coolant on the floor the other day, and let me tell you, that is slippery. And you mop it up, and it's still a puddle. So that actually helps me stay safe in the shop. So there's a whole, you know, we're just grateful. We love this fan, and we're really excited to give one away to y'all. So, Shop Mom, one more time, would you put that link in the chat just for, like, you know, just for while we are still here, and you'll be able to find this link after the live stream is up. We're gonna keep this live stream up for the duration of our giveaway, because we're gonna be announcing the when are we announcing the winners? I wrote it down and I forgot. You know, but we have, let me see. We're gonna be announcing the winners later on this month, and we actually want to make sure that you guys. Okay, so it is gonna be on a Friday, so the 27th. Of this month, we will be back at 3:30. So 3:30 for happy hour, that's Central Time. And this way, all of our friends in Germany, and actually all of our friends in other time zones will be able to reach us.
Spain, I mean,
Yeah, I know, Charles from Spain. I just can't believe that we have so many people watching from all around the world. We're so grateful for all of you. So yes, we'll be back on the 27th to announce the winner, but we want to see the worst fans out there. Because we want to make sure that we replace your fan. So the most deserving out there, the worst fan, will get a new fan. This competition is called This Fan Blows. If you want bonus points, if you really want it to get noticed, go ahead and post it up on social media with hashtag This Fan Blows. That is not a requirement. However, that does show how badly you want it. Shows a little bit of, you know, how badly
Instagram,
you want it.
Facebook,
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. Twitter. We will be looking out for hashtag This Fan Blows, and all you have to do is take a picture of the crappy fan that you already have. Take a
And that's
video.
not going to be a problem. If you walk
That's
around the
not
shop,
gonna be a
the
problem,
fan you have, I'm sure it's a crappy fan.
And if you don't have a fan at all, then show us how you're suffering without a fan. And the one of you that is suffering the most will win a new fan from us, shipped to your door, courtesy of Hunter Industrial Jan Fan. And we're very grateful. We're very grateful to them.
Made it possible.
Yeah, they made this whole thing possible. So with that being said, thank you all so much for being here,
Yes.
for making this amazing. This was so great.
It was, we're back in the groove again. Thank you.
This was awesome.
They're
All right.
never going to shut up, people.
No, okay.
Peace and
We're-
assembly.
Peace
Peace and assembly grease.
grease.
We're out of here.
We'll see you on Friday the 28th.